Politics here in Germany have been an absolute in 2024. Even Elon Musk is interfering now. Just last month, our Minister of Finance got fired, then our traffic light government broke apart, and just a few days ago, our Chancellor Olaf Scholz lost his vote of confidence, which means the German government is not confident anymore that our Chancellor is capable of running this country. And it's not just the government itself. 70% more people than ever lost faith in the political stability of our country. And that's why we will have early elections on February 23rd next year. What does that mean for the future of Germany? And more importantly for you as an expat living here? The smallest party that could be voted into government, according to the latest polls from mid-December, is the left. The left is a socialist and anti-capitalist party led by Ines Schwertner and Jan van Aken. Supporters of the left love its focus on social justice. They compare the party to a modern-day Robin Hood that is redistributing wealth from the rich to support the less fortunate. Supporters also highlight that the left stands apart from all the other political parties in Germany by refusing to accept corporate donations. The elite. You expats might find the left appealing, as the party would make it easier to immigrate to Germany, bring family members along, have foreign qualifications recognized, and secure employment. Critics raise concerns about the feasibility of the left's policies. They argue that the party proposes increased social benefits, such as more kindergartens or lower rents, but the real question is, who pays for all of this? They want to take it from the rich. Okay, but how is this supposed to work in detail? The ultra-rich have their wealth tied up in companies and not sleeping on bank accounts. How do you want to take money away from Dieter Schwarz, one of the richest Germans who owns private companies like Lidl or Kaufland, to pay for social benefits? And creating a less favorable economic environment for companies will drive businesses away, resulting in massive job losses. SAP is cutting 3,500 jobs. ThyssenKrupp plans to cut 11,000. And Volkswagen and Deutsche Bahn each prepare to reduce their workforce by 30,000 jobs. If you tax people or companies and take everything away from them, they will just leave and never come back. The next party, the Alliance Sahra Wagenknecht, was founded just this year. Sahra Wagenknecht, once the face of the left party, was a prominent member for decades. And let's just say she left the left. Get it? And now that she's gone, she's expected to take a significant chunk of voters with her, as you can see in the chart. What does the Alliance Sahra Wagenknecht stand for? Well, that's still a little bit of a mystery, because their official political agenda will be released on January 12th. In the intro, I told you that Christian Lindner, our former Minister of Finance, got fired in November. This might be why his party is polling at just 4% in the latest surveys. The Free Democrats are often seen as the liberal party in Germany, focusing on individual freedom and personal responsibility. Supporters of the FDP highlight their commitment to strengthening Germany's education system, boosting the economy, and making the country more digital and less bureaucratic. Their vision also includes reducing government size and lowering taxes, which many find appealing, myself included. Expats. The FDP will welcome you with open arms, as long as you contribute to society through work, rather than relying on social benefits. Critics argue that the FDP primarily represents the interests of the wealthy and the elite. They say that while the party's policies might benefit individuals who are financially stable and self-sufficient, those who are in need of social support could be left behind. And because the economy comes first for the FDP, everything else, like the environment or social benefits, comes after that. Let's break into the double digits with the Green Party. After a lot of back and forth, Robert Habeck will be their candidate for chancellor. He leads his left-wing party, which primarily focuses on the environment and people, less on the economy, like the FDP. And unlike the other parties that are about to come, the Greens are a lot more progressive when it comes to social change. They stand for progressive values like equality and diversity, not for conservatism. The Greens are also quite welcoming when it comes to expats. They want to make it easier for people to immigrate to Germany, learn the language, and integrate into society, which I'm sure a lot of you guys would appreciate. Critics argue that while protecting the environment is important, it should not come at any cost. They point out that relying on cheap oil and gas from Russia, although politically questionable right now, helps keep energy prices low and thus benefits everyone, especially those with lower incomes. Critics also warn that if the economy is sidelined in favor of environmental protection, it could lead to job losses and economic downturn. They suggest a balance between protecting the environment and ensuring economic stability. And some critics have even named the Greens the Verbotspartei, claiming their policies could restrict personal freedoms, like driving gasoline cars, eating meat, or owning pets, because they cause too much CO2. We kick off the top 3 parties with the SPD, the Social Democrats, led by their most famous member, our reigning and defending Chancellor Olaf Scholz. And yes, that's a real picture. It's not AI generated. He fell on his face while running. Supporters say the SPD is the party for the working class. They advocate for a fair distribution of profits, aiming for high wages, as well as a strong health insurance and pension system. Not just for German workers, but also for you expats. Like many other parties, the SPD wants to make it easier to immigrate to Germany, integrate into society, and find work here. Critics say that the SPD has lost its identity over the years. They claim to be the working class party, but when they were running the government in the early 2000s, they betrayed the working class with their reforms. And of course, hopefully Olaf Scholz doesn't see this video, many describe him as a weak leader. German media have pointed this out for years, and Olaf himself admits that he wishes he were a stronger leader. Well, somewhat admitted. You know how politicians are. The second biggest party is expected to be the AfD, the Alternative for Germany, led by Alice Weidel. She describes the AfD as a conservative libertarian party. Many others view it as a right-wing party. The AfD's success over the last years comes from the fact that many people are tired of the same old parties doing the same things over and over again. Because the AfD offers something new, they manage to attract a lot of voters who didn't vote in the past, similar to how the Amish in the US voted for Donald Trump. Are they Nazis or hate everyone who isn't German, blonde, and blue-eyed? Probably not. Alice Weidel is in a registered partnership with a woman from Sri Lanka, and they are raising 2 boys together. And the AfD also welcomes immigration, as long as people want to work here, kind of like Japan. But refugees and asylum seekers may not be as welcome, as Germany currently accepts 40% of asylum applicants, while Japan accepts only 0.2%. Critics say that the AfD is not just right-wing, which would be fine, right? Right-wing is just as valid as left-wing. Critics say some members of the AfD are far-right or even extremist right, which is potentially illegal and not fine, of course. And being a populist party like the AfD, it's easy to criticize the established parties and highlight their mistakes. But the real question is, what are their actual solutions? It's easy to point out problems, but what does the AfD propose that would work in real life? And by far the number 1 party is expected to be the Christian Union of the CDU and CSU, led by Friedrich Merz. They stand for tradition, continuity, family, and political stability. Do you remember Angela Merkel doing basically this for 16 years? What's good for you expats is that the CDU-CSU wants to make Germany's labor market migration an international success story. And if that doesn't sound promising, I don't know what does. We'll find out end of December what that means exactly when they publish their full party agenda, but now we know that every single party wants to welcome expats here in Germany. Critics say that not much will move forward with the union because they tend to resist change. Again, Do you remember Angela Merkel doing this for 16 years? And because the Chancellor candidate Friedrich Merz was previously the supervisory board chairman of BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world and issuer of the iShares ETFs, critics worry that the union's policy might be too influenced by lobbyists. I hope I mastered my probably biggest challenge to date by being as objective as possible in this video. And if I can do it, I'm sure you guys can do that in the comments too. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in 2025 when we know who won the elections.